A new round of layoffs has hit Microsoft and has affected at least one employee on the Xbox side of the company. This all comes as Xbox has fully embraced woke ideology. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Make sure you hit that like button and push this video into the YouTube algorithm so more people can watch it. I wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And we have a number of individuals here announcing that they have been laid off from Microsoft and Xbox. This user on X, Jessa Birdie, she wrote this, said to announce that my role with Microsoft has been eliminated. To all those who have been part of Team Xbox, thank you. Hope I made you proud. We also had this here from Corey Ebert. He's a technical program manager for Microsoft. He announced on LinkedIn, well, this isn't how I thought today would go. After nearly 15 years, seriously 2 months shy, Microsoft has made the decision to end our working relationship effective immediately due to changes in the business direction and landscape. I have marked myself as open to work and am available for all opportunities that my network may know of. We also had this here from Angela Visnes. She is a senior or was a senior product manager at Microsoft. She also posted on LinkedIn. Hello, friends. In light of the recent layoffs at Microsoft, my position was eliminated, and I am now on the lookout for my next career adventure. It was an incredible ride, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities I was given. So we also had this report here. Tom Warren, he is the senior editor at The Verge. He reacted to Jessa Birdie's post on X, and he says, more Xbox layoffs happening this week. And then he also claimed that Jessie was laid off while she was on vacation. So all of this comes as the company has embraced woke ideology. We previously had an explanation from gaming at Microsoft CEO Phil Spencer as for why they laid off a bunch of people. It first came in January when Microsoft announced that it was laying off around 1,900 employees. Soon after, it had acquired Activision Blizzard, the owner of Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. This is what Spencer said in a memo. He said that it was to align, quote, on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team. He elaborated on this in an interview with Polygon in March, a couple months later. He explained that layoffs were a mix of what he sees as a larger trend of a stagnant and even shrinking video game market, as well as conditions that were unique to Activision, Blizzard, King, and Xbox. So this is what he said. It's a little bit of both. But I'll say the thing that has me most concerned for the industry is the lack of growth. And when you have an industry that is projected to be smaller next year in terms of players and dollars, and you get a lot of publicly traded companies that are in the industry that have to show their investors growth, because why else does somebody own a share of someone's stock if it's not going to grow? I can answer that question because you actually want a return on investment. You don't always have to have growth to get a return on investment. If you're getting a solid return and that's what you want, and that's what you want to keep getting, you want that to be stable. That might be why you want to invest in the company, or maybe you invest in the company because you believe in what it does. There's maybe a moral thing. You believe in the technology. You believe that it does something good for the country, the society, humanity, etc. Lots of reasons why you would invest other than just growth. But that's what all these people want to focus on. Got to grow, 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 grow. And then they also, in the same time, they're like, too overpopulated. We got to cut back the population. Well, how do you grow if you don't have more customers, right? These people talk out of both sides of their mouths, right? Nevertheless, he goes on and says, the side of the business that then gets scrutinized is the cost side. Because if you're not going to grow the revenue side, then the cost side becomes challenged. We're a business. I've said over and over, I don't get any luxury of not having to run a profitable, growing business inside of Microsoft. And we are that today. But just across the industry, you mentioned it. And sitting here at the Game Developers Conference, I reflect on friends of mine in the industry that have been displaced and lost their jobs, and how just I don't want this industry to be a place where people can't, with confidence, build a career. as he fires a guy who's been at the company for 15 years, lays him off. So that's why I keep pivoting back to how does this industry get back to growth? But to your question, for us as Xbox or any of the teams that are out there, it is really an outcome of an industry that's not growing. It can grow and it will grow again, but you see this time right now, and the implications have human impact. And we should all reflect on that and think about it. He then kind of indicates how he's going to solve this problem, basically getting rid of console exclusivity and allowing games to go on PlayStation, Switch, and PC, because that is where the video game audience primarily is now. It is on PC. It's where people are playing video games. And Switch has absolutely destroyed both PlayStation and Xbox as far as sales. So that's what he says. And then he goes on to say this notion that Xbox can only be this one device that plugs into a television isn't something we see in the Gen Z research, because nothing else is like that for them. Some of them will have an iPhone, some will have an Android, but all the games and everything is the same. I can still get to TikTok on both of them, at least for now. All of their stuff is available whenever they want. So for Xbox, our brand pivot as we attract and maintain relevance with a younger audience is Xbox is a place where I can find the great games I want to. So that's kind of what they're trying to do. That's what he's saying is their strategy, their plan of action moving forward. However, it's unlikely to be a success given that the entire company has enslaved itself to woke ideology. And there's numerous examples of this slavery that they have subjected themselves to. You have Xbox's head of gaming for everyone and sustainability, Katie Jo Wright, making this clear in an interview with Games Industry while promoting the company's Gaming for Everyone product inclusion framework that the company developed in 2019 is now making public for other developers to use. She explained the purpose of the framework to Games Industry, saying, if you don't intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. That is how we are as human beings. There is no shame in that. If you want to include, you have to be intentional about that. This is absolutely a sick and twisted ideology. We should not be trying to include everyone. We should not be trying to include all different kinds of cultures, because certain cultures are engaging in heinous, sick, disgusting activities. And we should not be wanting to be inclusive of them. We should say, no, you are wrong, you are immoral, and you will adapt to what is true, just, and right. You will abandon your wicked ways, and you will become moral. Easy example is the Aztecs, human sacrifice. Absolutely sick, absolutely heinous, absolutely disgusting. There's absolutely no way we would want to include someone who actually believes in Aztec human sacrifice into civil society. So the company also employs proud racists such as Kelly Lombardi. Posted this on X in March. She says, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games. No hate to white dudes. It's just another day in the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. Elon Musk took issue with this and says, should not be acceptable for any company in the gaming industry to be racist and sexist against white guys. This is the type of people that Microsoft and Xbox employs. It's no surprise. It's all about inclusion. If you don't intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. Well, they are including. And what are they excluding them? They're excluding white men. It's exactly what they're doing. Right here, Kelly Lombardi proves it. Because inclusivity and inclusive ideology is at its core racist against white people. And it's also sexist against men. So a number of the company's subsidiaries, such as Halo, also promote all kinds of disordered lifestyles and evil ideologies. Proof right here. Halo account posted this on X the beginning of June. Let's stand together in honoring our LGBTQIA plus community and forging a future of unity and acceptance for all. Absolutely not. The LGBTQIA plus movement is anything but unified or accepting. In fact, the movement is hateful. It actively hates people of religious faith that accurately describes their movement as disordered and calls for them to repent and abandon their disordered lifestyles. They cannot have that. They cannot tolerate that. And they actively engage in hate against people of faith, usually Christians, especially in the West. And then they accuse Christians of being hateful for standing for what is true, just, and right, and opposing their disordered lifestyles that clearly reject natural law, reject the complementarity between the sexes, and reject the gift of life. Because two men cannot create life. They cannot engage in the activity that creates life. And so they make a mockery of it with their actions. In fact, we have this. Halo composer Marty O'Donnell revealed that the wokeness has been seeping into the company as far back as 2002. He explained this in an interview with my good friend Andrew Chapados of The Blaze. Marty said this: I started seeing it a little bit even during our Halo 2, which goes back quite a ways. We were making Halo 2 in 2002, 2003, which was close enough after 9/11. If you know the story of Halo, it's about this group of religious zealots that essentially will commit suicide to keep their religion going. That's the characters we had for the Covenant. That started making Microsoft a little bit nervous because they felt like there could be some backlash from the Muslim community in the Middle East, that maybe this could be seen as Islamophobic. All of a sudden, we were being asked to be very careful about some names of people or references or phrases and things like that. So there you go. This company has been engaging in this stuff for at least over 2 decades, according to Marty O'Donnell. And they're paying the piper now. Numerous layoffs. 1,900 they announced in January. We're getting more now coming out in July. They're shutting down studios that they acquired with Bethesda. Tango Gameworks, they created Hi-Fi Rush, shut down. This is what happens when you embrace this woke agenda. People reject this stuff as they should because it is wrong. It is disordered. It is evil. It creates disunity. It creates discord. It relies on divisiveness. But people can change their ways. Microsoft can change their ways, and they should. They should. We should pray for them that they change their ways, that their leadership changes their ways. But even while we pray for them, we should also actively oppose them. I suggest you don't purchase any Xbox-owned games and start canceling your Xbox Game Pass. Hit them where it hurts. Don't give your money to people that hate you. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.